bitches gon' strip. Dope boys gon' trap to this. Keep an eye, I don't lack to this. Somebody might get slapped to this. They know the real.
Hi guys, and welcome to Talking Toronto. I'm your host Roshane, and on our first ever debut episode, we have someone that I consider as Toronto's first ever social media influencer. And if he's not the first, he's definitely the biggest and the most controversial. Other than being an influencer, he's known in the city for being a DJ and a rapper, but most importantly, he's a father, and we have him here today. Please welcome DJ Snoopy.
Yeah.
Snoopy, thank you for coming.
No problem.
Okay, so when thinking who we wanted as our first guest in Talking Toronto, the only person that we can think of was DJ Snoopy. From Club COVID to you actually throwing parties in the streets, you've managed to keep people's attention for what feels like 3 years now. So how did it feel to be the talk of quarantine?
Yeah, I'm always the talk of people, you know, always talking about me, period. But, you know, COVID was a time. It was lit, man. I know, I loved it. Like, I was getting super attention. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And like, naturally, like, you know, like, people around the world was watching me, so I just kept going.
Facts.
So the point where I really didn't give a fuck if Toronto, can I cuss?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't give a fuck if Toronto people was watching me. Like, I know they're pre no matter what, but when I was doing things, it's for worldwide attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And during COVID, like, COVID was a hard time for most people. You know, some people lost their jobs. Some people couldn't find work. But I feel like for you, like, you really skyrocketed during those times. So tell me a bit of things that you're doing during that time that, you know, helped your brand. You had Club COVID. Yeah,
I did Club COVID. Definitely.
How did that come about?
So, like, I have a DJ friend named Chip down there. And he did, like, a Instagram party. And he was DJing.
Yeah.
And the comments was lit. It's like, I'm in the comments partying, like, yo, check the bar or whatever, you know? And it was a vibe. You got like 100 plus people, 200 plus people. And I'm like, are you dumb? I have to do this, but I gotta do it sicker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then before lockdown, I was dealing with the strippers and shit in the clubs.
Yeah.
And they lost their jobs, right? And I'm a DJ too, and I'm like, clubs are closed. So I'm like, yo. And he was getting e-transfers that night, so I'm like, yo, I can put my email in the freaking bottom, collect bare money, and survive, and break it off with the
So
stripper.
people were actually sending e-transfers?
We gonna talk about it, Bo. So I put it in the pin it at the bottom. Tell strippers, yo, whatever we make, we break off and we vibe, and we can do this consistently, like, you know?
Yeah.
So the first show, we bust it. Bro, that shit went viral.
Facts.
Dog, all celebrities started coming in. I'm like, what?
Facts.
And the first show, I ain't even capping. The show made at least $2,000+. Respectfully.
Yeah.
5s, 10s, 20s, 100s. We're actually liking it.
Yeah.
And you know, we had Bad Breed MCing, doing this thing, say us, send the money.
Yeah.
Or gonna stop this. You know, like, we knew how to like corral the crowd.
So not only were you getting money through Club COVID, you actually started like to host parties in the city as well, against the law allegedly. But you were also throwing parties in the city, and I know you were getting beer fines. So
how have I told you I didn't get one?
You didn't get beer fines?
I was God blessed throughout the whole COVID. I swear God was the realest guy I knew.
How? Because you were almost outside probably like every single weekend during the COVID.
Listen, when them coming in and they went, they didn't even start. For some reason, nothing got locked off like that.
Yeah.
The parties really went late.
Yeah.
And it was like every day.
Jeez, well, you're blessed, you know?
Respectfully, it was God.
Facts.
Because people's party was getting locked down. I was doing it in houses, basements, like.
Yeah. All right, so... Okay, so that's current day Snoopy, but I kind of wanted to take it back to the beginning, to young Snoopy, little Snoopy, you know? Tell me where you started and how did you get here? So tell me about young Snoopy and who he was growing up.
Young Snoopy. All right, before I get the name Snoopy, I was Kevin.
Yes. Where did the name Snoopy come from?
One of my dogs from York Square, you know what I mean? Edmonton, Kill Edmonton. I think I used to wear my do-rag funny or some shit. Whatever, my name ended up being Snoopy. It stuck with me. And
so who were you growing up like? Did you always know that you're going to be somebody famous or?
No, I was a bad boy.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I was robbing people, doing the most.
You're robbing people?
right? I really changed.
At what age?
High school days, man.
High school days?
High school, in the high school.
So what were your ambitions coming up? Like, most mans, they say, okay, I wanted to be a baller, or I wanted to be
How
a
have I
lawyer.
told you? How have I told you I was in Mississauga, I was a nerd, like I wanted to be a police officer or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my mom and my dad break up and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom kidnapped us to Toronto. And then returned bad boy. I said, fuck the police. You understand? Joined the gang and shit.
What?
Imagine moving from Mississauga to Toronto. You know what I mean?
Okay, pause. So you moved from Mississauga to Toronto at what age?
I came to Toronto when I was like 14.
Okay. And how was that culture shock? Because I know, like, coming from over there to over here was a big culture shock.
Definitely.
What area did you move to? How was it?
From Mississauga, I moved to Kiel and Eglinton.
Okay. And what high school did you go to?
I went to George Harvey.
Okay.
In those times, that was a time when there was bare badness and bare gangs, and
Yeah.
it was a different time. Like,
Yeah.
flag thing was a serious thing, Crips and blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just.
So you being moved from Mississauga to Toronto, did you know that you always had inspirations to be an artist or to be a DJ, or did you just move and you didn't really know where you're going?
I feel like I was always a little idiot. I was always an entertainer.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But you piss me off, I get serious,
Okay. All right.
So I didn't know what I was gonna be. I was young still, I was
Exactly.
playing ball, I was
Yeah.
fighting, I was breathing, yeah.
Jeez.
You understand?
All right. So growing up, you said your mom moved you and your brother. So how many siblings did you have?
My mom kidnapped 1, 2, 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has 8.
Oh, your mom has 8.
Yeah.
All in one roof?
No.
Okay.
But she has 8 kids, but she kidnapped 3.
So I kind of wanted to touch on your brother, the brother that passed away, because I know that he was
Okay.
like really influential in your life. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the brother that passed away. What's his name and what role did he play in your life?
His name is Sheldon. My mom brought him down from Grenada when he was like 18.
Okay.
And
What's the year age difference?
I guess he was like, he's 40, I'm 30, so 10, right?
So 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, so when he came down, I was probably like 8, 9.
Okay.
So from them times when he reached down there, see, not even knowing I was 8 and 9 is crazy. Like, when I was 8 and 9, I was live listening to beer type of music with him. He had me, like, setting up sound. I was 8 and 9. I was 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy thinking about it.
Yeah. And what did he have you doing? Like, what role in your life did he play?
Music, fighting. I was playing card games with him at 8 and shit. Playing video games. I guess I was a little big man,
Yeah.
Respectfully, He was there, movies and ride bike and.
And how did his death how did it affect you? How did it change?
It was just crazy.
How old were you when he passed away?
Was that 3 years ago? 4 years ago? Probably like 27, 26.
Okay. And that's the brother that is on your chain right now, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And you rep him heavy.
Respectfully.
Mm-hmm. So, how did it feel when they took the chain? Because from the viewer's perspective, it kind of seemed like you weren't mad about the jewelry, you weren't mad about the chain, but what you were mad about in particular was what the chain represented, So tell me, how did you feel when they took the chain and they flushed it?
You should ask the question differently, but I feel like the situation is deeper than my chain getting taken.
It's deeper than that?
Like, it wasn't even the people who flushed my chain, they weren't even involved. Like, this was high school mans I probably robbed or fought their girl. They saw me in the mall slipping.
Yeah.
5 against 1, they got one of my chains.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole type of thing going on social media, like who gets Snoopy chain, this, that. So it's like a game out there for everyone wants clout.
Yeah.
So I guess my boy got my pendant and gave it to top 5 and then he flushed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think jewelry is nothing. I lost jewelry in life plenty of times and it never stopped me from being great. Him doing that, what hurt was that me and top 5 was doing the social media thing to entertain you guys. We'll link and say, yo, I go up on live and disrespect each other.
Oh, so it was a plan.
No, that was planning, whatever. We're joking. Let's
Yeah.
go. Look at your followers going up. Like, yours too. All right, let's go back on. You know what I mean? Like, he's a kid. I don't know. He's 22. I'm a big man. But we were really going viral on the social media shit. You know what I mean? If it wasn't me live, it was him live or Tori. We had you guys watching.
Yeah.
Well, was fuck up. The man really took the chain and flushed the chain.
Yeah. So that for you just changed
And
everything.
when that happened, I didn't talk about it on social media. It happened, and I continued with my life.
Exactly.
There's no back and forth after that.
Yeah.
It happened. I'm just like, yeah. And I kept going. As you can see, I didn't talk about it.
Exactly.
A year later, you have to come on social media and apologize. I didn't have to do nothing. I didn't have to say nothing. You know what I mean? God bless you. And that time, the time that it happened to now, my life leveled up, and I'm
some
great.
people were questioning why you decided to take the apology, because it's like, yo, the man disrespected you on a different kind of level. Like, why did you
Listen, you see DJ Snoopy? I probably known Kevin before you known him. You understand what I said? I went to school with that guy from George Harvey.
There you go.
So he let me down. He let me down when he clowned himself like that. Let the boy deal with it. And then when I tried to give him talks as an older nigga, the man's like, ugh. Yo, and then it's personal, it's deep.
That's people can talk all they want, but social media is deeper than real life situations. You know what I mean? It's deeper than social media.
Yeah.
So when I post that, it's not for you to chat. I don't care what big people have to say. There's youth saying, "Yeah, I like that."
Yeah.
I motivate the youth. Everything I do is to educate somebody. It's not for everybody, but someone took that message and me accepting an apology, and it doesn't make you a bitch or a punk, because I'm deeper than being a bitch and a punk. I'll kidnap you.
Amen.
I'll hurt you if I had to. But chain, my hold that. I'm not broke.
To this, they know the real.